So our topic for today is all about the digital literacy skills in the 21st century. So before we are going to proceed to our topic, let's define first what is digital and literacy in the 21st century. And of course, what are the skills needed? And lastly, why is it important in the 21st century? Why is it digital literacy is an important competence in the 21st century? So first, let's go define the digital. So digital, it describes the electronic technology that generates, stores, and processes in terms of two states. And literacy, it is the ability to identify, understand, interpret, create, and compute using printed and non-written materials associated with varying contexts using technology. Then, ito siya ang sa digital literacy. So, let's go first sa digital literacy. So, digital literacy, it is refers to the individual's ability to find, evaluate, and clearly communicate information through typing and other media on various digital platforms. It also evaluated by an individual's grammar, composition, typing skills, and ability to produce text, image, audio, and design using technology. So what are the digital literacies? So those are the cyber literacy or the digital literacy, media literacy, arts and creativity literacy, financial literacy, and lastly, the multicultural literacy or the global understanding. And this term, digital literacy, was coined by Paul Gilster in 1997, and it came from the discussion of the concepts visual literacy and nonverbal symbols to try to capture the knowledge. Second, technological literacy, which requires one to be able to use technology in addressing the need. C, computer literacy, which become a household item manipulated to achieve one's target in the year 1980s. And lastly, information literacy, which refers to the finding, evaluating, using, and sharing information. So that's where the digital literacy discuss, or where it came from the discussion, or those are the concepts of digital literacies according to Paul Gilster. And so in teaching and learning context, digital literacy is an important competence. So why is it that this digital literacy is an important competence? So the answer is we must learn the skills to thrive in the overconnected world that we live in today. By teaching digital literacy is an assured way, or by teaching this, it is an assured way of accomplishing this as technology further incorporated into the classroom setting. Bali, ang digital literacy is part of siya sa atong classroom setting. And then, educators have the ability to expand children's learning and enhance their 21st century skill. So what are those 21st century skills? That will be discussed in the next reporter. And why digital literacy is important in the 21st century skills? Why is it important in the 21st century? So, digital literacy creates new ways to teach and learn within the classroom. Students are discovering new ways to interact with their interests online and through other digital media. And one of the reason also nga need ni siya i-import sa klase, it's because, for example, for now, we are in a pandemic and we don't do the face-to-face classes. Instead, we are now using the blended learning system, which we are going to school through online. And then in the next video, our reporter will review what are the media literacies and its use. And that's all for this video.
The digital literacies. Media literacies is one's ability to critically read information or the message they are sending in a newspaper, magazine, and poster, and radio. Information literacy is locating from the web and interpreting while evaluating. So, this example is news reports, personal blog, research journal, books, media, news sites, TV, radio. Information literacy is an example news report, personal blog, professional blog, research journal, books, media news, sites, TV, radio, use and communicate information in all the ICT literacy is knowing how to select and use digital devices, applications, or services to accomplish tasks. So, example is telephones. Telephones is to help people who are deaf communication. Communications and collaborations are one's capabilities in being able to participate in the digital networks in the teaching and learning context. Communications and collaborations is working with others collectively towards a common goal to create something or solve a problem. Identity management is being able to understand how to ensure safety and security in managing online identity and foster a positive digital reputation. Learning skills are ways of knowing how to study and learn in a technology environment. This is knowing how to utilize technology in addressing the new to learn effectively. Digital scholarship is a large-scale text and data analyze using image analyze tools and uncover or artworks.
The four C's of the 21st century skills refers to critical thinking, creativity, communication, and collaboration. To perform well in this century, you need to develop and enhance these skills, namely creativity, critical thinking, communication, and collaboration. So critical thinking is learning how to solve problems. It teaches not to accept immediately claims without seeking the truth. It is the ability to differentiate facts from opinions and not only just learn a set of facts or figures but also discover these for the sake of knowing what ought to be. So when it comes to differentiating facts from opinions, critical thinking helps pupils to identify the truth in assertions. So students don't merely study facts and figures when they use critical thinking. Instead, students can now learn how to find information on their own. So next is creativity. It requires students to think out of the box and to take pride in what is uniquely theirs. It means that they will be able to look at a problem from multiple perspectives, including can propose multiple possibilities and alternatives to address a problem, and they need to take calculated risk. So from long-term planning to careful organization, creativity empowers pupils to embrace their innate abilities. So students can now learn how to express their creativity in healthy and useful ways as they become more aware of it. Third one is communication. Communication makes students express their ideas in the clearest and organized manner. So communication can improve relationship by allowing people to share their thoughts and feelings. In contributing to conversations and debates, it's considered as a huge plus in the workplace. Brushing up on one's communication abilities is a must these days. collaboration. It happens when students know how to work well with others to accomplish a given task or solve a problem at hand. Collaboration is crucial because whether students realize it or not, they will almost certainly collaborate well with others for the rest of their life. So in short is that collaboration is about working together to reach a goal and putting talent, expertise, and smarts to work. Just like with communication, technology has made collaboration easier. So, in addition to what I have mentioned earlier, there are citizenship and character. So, citizenship, known as netizenship in the virtual world, this is making the person consider how one behaves accordingly by observing the norms and rules that are in accordance with what are sociably and virtually acceptable.
Digital literacy skills or digital literacy. Digital literacy skills are required in the wired world. These skills vary from text to images to multimedia. This is required and important because it helps to underpin how much modern work is conducted. It also helps to provide new strategies and approaches to working. Lynch 2017 identified 8 digital literacy skills needed to become digitally literate. These are follows: coding, collaboration, cloud software, word processing software, screencasting, personal archiving, information evaluation, and social media savvy. Number 1 is coding. Coding is a universal language. Basic understanding of HTML, CSS, and like will create a shared understanding of what can be done with the web pages. It also has a big help or useful whether a technical career pursued or not. Next is collaboration. Collaboration is the use of Google Docs, among others, allows students to begin experimenting with effective online collaboration. It could be in a Microsoft Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. It can be in the online environment, requires deliberate students be taught basic project management and group essentials to navigate between multiple platforms. Next is cloud software. This is essential part of document management. The cloud is used to store everything from photos to research project or train papers or even music. So it can be useful for us to where we can store our important details, especially when it's safety and purposes. Word processing software. Google, Microsoft Online Dropbox are available for storage and management solutions. Is often used in conjunctions and collaborations and cloud software. Screencasting. A screencast is a video recording using the computer screen and usually includes an audio. On the other hand, when you take a picture on the screen of your computer, it is called a print screen. Both can be used in explaining topics as well as providing a visual support to clarify what you're thinking. But the use of screencasting make it easy for the notice of video creator to make simple yet effective videos. This is a useful skill for explaining a topic as well as articulating what we are and what you are thinking. Personal archiving. Students should be taught the concepts of metadata, tagging, keywords, and categories to make them aware how they are presented online. So, personal archiving, from the other word archive, it's something that we give it safety and we give it for something purpose. Personal archiving takes into considerations that we live in a massive digital footprint without a flooded place to archive this information because it is very useful for us. Information evaluation. Critical thinking to need out fake news is crucial 21st century skills. The use of tools and skills needed to process information are very much needed. It has very always been necessary, however, with the ease at which all people can create and build knowledge, this skill becomes more important and essential. Last is use of social media or social media savvy. Social media serves different purposes depending on the user and technology and the need. For example, students should realize that Twitter can be useful for staying correction and the latest news in the field. We also have that experience that before we download the app, we made a research on how this app is very useful, what is the purpose of app, and how we can use the app. It is important because social media serves different purpose depending on the use and what's the apps all about. Focusing on the 8 skills being described a while ago will give us as a student an increased digital fluency where we can be ethical, responsible, and productive, and also being a media literate in a technological world. So there is an example being shown: digital skills versus digital literacy. So for more idea, digital literacy refers to a person's capacity to find access and clearly transmit information and a variety of digital using social or using typing and other media. While digital literacy skills, a mix of digital skills, competence, knowledge, and practical ability to digital things. So number 4 example, researching from the World Wide Web. So as a student, it's really useful for us to find information that's accurate for our topic, especially we go Google, Firefox, or any search engine site. So with that, we also bear in our mind the other effects, like for evaluate the information online. Is the site legitimate? Is the author an expert? We also need to evaluate if that site is really legit, the information is legit, because so media is, or digital media is really huge thing. So we must be digital literate to prevent any social media bad thing or errors such as malwares.